Welcome to Divers Direct. My name is Ralph. Today we're going to talk a little bit about octopuses. Not those kind of octopuses. These kind of octopuses. And we're going to give you some information and present a few options that you might consider when you're purchasing your gear on your alternate air source. So we'll go into what you typically have on most PCs. If you did your class and you were using your rental gear or your student gear, typically you'll have your regulator primary, first and second stage, and then you'll have your alternate air source, which typically would be attached to your BC somewhere in that triangle of your body, so your buddy can see it and you can access it real easily. Little clips and holders like this make it better, obviously, for you, so your gear isn't loose dragging behind you, and visibly it's easier to see. Typically your Octo hose will be longer than your primary, usually with a yellow configuration and 34 or 36 lengths. So if you need to pass it to your buddy, there's enough distance there where you can pass it. So that's the traditional Octopus, typically found on most sets of PCs. But there are some alternatives that make it actually a bit more streamlined for you as well. And so we like to refer to those as air integrated alternate air sources. And one of the benefits is actually that you're streamlined, but you're eliminating one hose. So we would take away the traditional Octopus and we would have our primary, then we would have our gauges off to the left, and we would have our inflator hose that's integrated into an alternate air source that you would be breathing off of, and your inflator hose itself to operate your BC. The benefit here is that newer alternate air sources that are integrated breathe very much almost like a primary regulator. They're very easy breathing. Initially when they first came out, they were tuned down, a little harder to breathe, but now some of the higher end ones like this SS1 breathes almost as good as your primary source. Now, what that does dictate to you is that if you were taught the more traditional way of passing air using your alternate air source to your buddy, your right-handed Octopus, in this case you would actually be passing your primary to your buddy and you would be breathing off your own air source. So you have your inflate, deflate buttons, and you actually have your purge button to purge it as well. But it makes sense if you think about it, because in a high stress situation, the person or the buddy who may be out of air is experiencing a high stress situation, needing air right away, and very often the first thing they do is grab the regulator that may be in your mouth. So from a training standpoint, it actually makes a lot of sense for you to switch over and breathe off yours and pass your primary. Now it's a little bit shorter hose, but you are eliminating one hose, which makes it a little bit more streamlined. It's something to consider, and it's a great way to streamline your equipment and provide you a very high quality performance second stage that will breathe really just about as good as any of your primary. So thanks for coming. Take a look at some of the things that we offer in the store, and if you have any questions, please feel free to visit the store and talk to an associate. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks very much.